The EPA is accusing Fiat Chrysler of cheating on emissions with its diesel trucks. Now, of course, last year there was a lot of drama involving Volkswagen and how they cheated emission tests with some of their diesel vehicles. About 500,000 vehicles were involved in this case. However, when it comes to Fiat Chrysler, the case is a little different, but there are some similarities. This would impact about 104,000 diesel cars, and what the EPA found was there are a few things in your cars, a few parts that you guys didn't report, and we're concerned that it might be leading to cheating when we do the emissions tests in the lab. So let me give you the details. The agency discovered that a number of Fiat Chrysler models, including the 2014 to 2016 model year of Dodge Ram 1500 pickup trucks and Jeep Grand Cherokees with 3-liter diesel engines, emitted higher levels of nitrogen oxide pollution under conditions that would be encountered in normal operation and use. So the issue is, they're worried that there are they're referred to as defeat devices that, start playing a role when the cars are tested in labs and then shut off when the cars are driven on the road. And so why would they do this? Why don't they just cut emissions and not cheat? Well, when you cut emissions when it comes to diesel vehicles, you kind of compromise some of the performance of the car. And so it's a balancing act, and in some cases, car companies cheat. So on closer inspection, the EPA discovered these vehicles also contained at least 8 undisclosed pieces of software that can alter how a vehicle produces air pollution. So they have gotten a citation for that. But Fiat Chrysler, for its part, denies that its software was similar to Volkswagen's. Instead, it says this was simply normal software to fine-tune emissions output from the car and help its vehicles balance EPA's regulatory requirements for low nitrogen oxide emissions and requirements for engine durability and performance. So they're completely denying it, and they're saying we didn't do anything wrong. This is very different from what Volkswagen did.
I got a couple of reactions to this story. One, it's crazy that Fiat makes the Dodge Ram 1500 truck.
That was
Fiat. Like, I mean, it's a tragedy that Fiat and Chrysler have merged. Fiat and Chrysler, the Dodge, I got myself a Fiat. It's a Dodge Ram 1500 truck. Nice Fiat, dude. And secondly, you said they were get a citation. And I was like, a citation is good. And then I'm like, no, a ticket is also a citation, which made me think, how do we know? Like, hey, I got a citation, or I got a citation. Like, which is it?
Yeah.
Like you meant, they got a citation. But sometimes you're like, I got a citation, best student in class.
No, it's not a good citation.
I think it's going to be...
But so let's get a different word.
I think you're
They
right.
mean the exact opposite things, right?
They're fine, right? They're
I
fine.
think that's a very good point to bring up.
Yeah.
If
Thank
Anna
you.
had delivered it just a little bit differently, we're like, they have been awarded.
Exactly.
For their
Hey, you
for
got
their-
8 things
for
that can be
their
adjusted.
admirable- their extra sneaky cheating, they got an
You
award.
got a citation.
Well, just to be clear, this is not a good thing. And look, usually corporations tend to get away with bad behavior. I mean, we have a trend in the United States with that happening. However, in the case of the EPA and these investigations, they are not letting these car makers off easy. I mean, Volkswagen did have to deal with some serious consequences. So it will end up paying up to $14.7 billion to compensate car owners and settle lawsuits in the United States over its clean diesel scandal, which affected, again, 500,000 cars. There were other issues, too. There were executives that got detained. Like, it was serious.
Yeah.
So I think that the EPA is really like laying down the hammer.
Chrysler is probably going to be pleading their case in front of a Trump administration.
That's right.
And
Yes.
we know that the Trump administration doesn't respect the EPA, and
The Department of Environmental, please get
No,
it
the
right.
Trump administration is probably going to give them a citation.
The
So-
good kind.
So it's going to be really interesting. I actually think this is going to be a kind of a cool sort of a line in the sand to not cool, but an interesting line in the sand to see for how this was handled before with Volkswagen, and now that we're seeing very similar sort of violations of emissions with nitrogen oxide with Chrysler, how the Trump administration will handle that, and what sort of is sanctions the right word, or is it? I mean, more citations. Is that better? What they're going to lay on Chrysler, because they absolutely were sort of skirting the rules. And
Yes.
this is to say that it was sort of accidental. So this is advanced software, it seems, that was put in these cars designed specifically to outsmart the lab tests.
Yes.
So they should be called out on it.
Yeah.
But will they be called out on it? It has yet to be determined. And
Yeah,
we'll have
see.
to see.
We'll see.
Stock
Damn, I
dropped.
hate that. We'll see. This is something that they did wrong. I wonder how it's going to be handled.
but it's true. I mean, all we can really do with the Trump administration is speculate on how he would dole out consequences, if there'd be consequences at all. I mean, again, he doesn't like the EPA. He's been very clear about that. Right-wingers don't like the EPA.
Climate deniers in charge of it. They
That's
I mean,
right.
you know, as Elizabeth Warren says, personnel is policy. We know where they stand on climate change. He doesn't believe it.
We got to speculate, pray, rain dance. We got to do everything.
Chrysler, Fiat Chrysler
No, look,
stock
I wanted to. You
dropped
can't
13%.
see it.
Yeah. Oh, you got it?
Write Fiat and Chrysler. Write it and look at it, and you'll laugh going into the weekend because that shit looks weird right there.
What?
Fiat Chrysler.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I got a new Fiat. I think you're gonna like it. We can zip around in my
gonna go
Ram
off-roading.
1500 truck,
It just
man.
sounds so.
Got a sweet
It is.
Fiat.
It's like so. Look, it's like smug and down to earth. Like there you go. There you got
All
the
in
mix.
one.
All
All in one.
I
It's
get- I've
elite,
been-
but it's smug.
I've been called
Or
smug
no,
all
it's
my
elite,
life.
but it's like gritty.
No, totally.
Yeah.
All my life. Yeah, totally.
It's the car for the everyman who doesn't like every man.
Help us with Operation Watchdog. Help us hire 4 new reporting teams. We could be the watchers on the wall. Make sure we keep Trump and the establishment in check. TYTnetwork.com/go.